Hi, this is Mr. Evans. This video is going to look at sustainability. So what is sustainability? Well, we can define sustainability as meeting the needs of this generation without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs. So in other words, we're providing all the food, all of the clothing, all of the essential materials that we need, and non-essential things as well, but we're not, crucially, damaging the prospects of future generations by using up non-renewable resources. AQA have identified two issues in relation to sustainability that you need to be aware of. The first is global warming. So businesses might contribute to global warming through the emission of CO2, particularly in the production process, i.e. The use of electricity to make products, the extraction of raw material that uses up huge amounts of energy, or through transport in the supply chain. So when we're transporting goods from one place to another, huge amounts of CO2 can be released as a result of that. The other thing that AQA say that we need to be aware of is using scarce resources. So any use of non-renewable resources, such as newly mined metals, it reduces the availability of those resources for the next generation. So, in terms of sustainability, there's a huge pressure on businesses really to kind of recycle materials, take in products at the end of their lives, like say a car that is at the end of its life. Can that car be taken in? Can the raw materials, the metals that have been used, can they then be recycled and used to produce new cars? So they're the issues that AQA say that you need to be aware of, and it's helpful to be aware of this definition of the term sustainability as well. AQA have identified that you need to be able to identify and analyse where there's a trade-off between sustainability and profit. So what does that mean? Well, a trade-off occurs when a business has decided to reduce their impact on the environment, but as a result, there's a fall in profit. So why might that happen? Well, a business might invest large amounts in new solar panels. Okay, that would increase their costs and therefore drive down their profits. A business may choose to reduce the use of plastic packaging in products, leading to more wastage as some products are damaged. Well, I've mentioned in the previous video that often they wrap things like a single broccoli or a single cauliflower in plastic. Well, the supermarkets would argue that process keeps the products fresher, stops them from being thrown away, and therefore it's better to wrap them in plastic than to have these products wasted, because that's damaging to the environment in itself. So it's a difficult argument. But if an organisation did decide it was going to be more environmentally friendly, it's going to use less plastic packaging, well, will some products be damaged and that costs them even more money? A business might buy a new fleet of electric vehicles. So any investment that increases a business's costs could lead to a trade-off with profits. You could equally argue that if they are raising their price because they've used environmentally friendly raw materials in their production process, and the increased price puts people off buying it, that could reduce revenue and therefore, again, a trade-off with profits. So I think the key question is a trade-off with profits inevitable? Well, you can argue that sometimes behaving sustainably can increase a business costs because it might be more expensive to behave in a sustainable manner, or reduce their revenues, which would lead to a fall in profits. However, you could counter that by saying in the long term it might be better for an organisation's reputation to behave sustainably, and therefore enable the business to charge a higher price and increase profits. In addition to this, more efficient and environmentally friendly production methods may cut the cost of production. So it's not necessarily inevitable that there will be a trade-off between sustainability and profits.